like I said, I think she has the potential to be that kind of like A tier or whatever we're calling it. But like, we don't necessarily know quite yet.
It's just a gold, right?
It's not just a gold. It's not just a gold, you guys.
I mean,
never fucking think it's just a gold.
I'm changing your name on Discord right now.
Oh, no.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 30 of Big Deck Energy. This week we're going to be talking about our RTN performance, go over some of our meta calls going into the ProQuest season, and answer some questions from you guys. Let's get right into it, boys. How was RTN season for everyone?
Well, Cliff and I made our RTN in the cities here. Why don't you go first, Cliff? How was your day?
No, I didn't go to an RTN.
Oh, you mean you didn't show up to the RTN? You were there, you just didn't show up to the RTN.
I'm blotting it out of my memory, dude. Nah, that was just a bad dream, a nightmare. So as everyone knows, I swapped to Dash kind of at the last minute. I was feeling pretty good on it in the testing I was doing. She was humming pretty good. Get to the RTN, and round one, I'm into a Kasai, and I'm like, yes, just a warrior match. I just go for the race, and I pound face. We get to the big turn. I'd end up throwing like a 30 damage some point turn at him. I had 2 red booms, and I max V'd him.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Felt good. He took, I think, 14 off of that max V.
What, did he just like blood on her hands or something at the end? Or how did he come back from that?
Because the next hand I drew up had 3 items and an attack. So I'm like, fuck. So I'd crank out the boom grenade, lay the core, and arsenal the attack, right?
Well, that's Dash for you.
Yep. I draw up again, and I got two items in my hand now, a BIOS update, and then blue attack. I'm like, this is just not happening.
It's not it.
And
it's not it.
He starts, he gets the feet back under him, and he starts doing the Kasai things, and just, I couldn't get any tempo back. Failed to convert in that game. Game 2 was into a KO. That matchup is pretty 50-50. It's whoever goes first. Like, their deck just decides to hit first. I thought I was going to be humming. Turn 1, I got 3 boosts off, so I get a counter on Hanabi. I spark a Genius to get a core out and slot my Arsenal. In Arsenal, it's a heist. I'm like, yes, this game feels great. There's already a red boom in my Banished, so we're sitting good.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the big turn. I threw 34 damage in this turn without throwing a max V.
Oh my God.
It sounds like you lost that game, right? Because I can hear it in your voice. He's saying the damage, but he's so defeated when he's saying it.
I lost this game. Once again, we get to end game, and I just start drawing hands I can't convert. Just like the first game. We both get down to that below 10 point, and then I just stop being able to push anything because of how I draw.
Your deck probably doesn't play that mid-range game very well with all the items in it, because you are pretty item heavy, right?
Yeah, I'm running...
It's more like aggressive items like Boom Grenade, though, and like stuff like that, rather than your like Plasma Purifiers and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not like the Smart Dash deck. The Smart Dash deck is the incubate... Is it Incubation? No, what's the one to get
induction?
The induction and the Plasma Purifiers, right?
Yep, that's the smart game plan on Dash.
Pistol.
I just wanted to do Boost Hog. And yeah, those first 2 were rough. Game 3, which one was game 3? Was that I think that was the mirror. There was another Dash player.
Dash mirror?
Yeah.
Damn.
There's a couple Dash there.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was on basically the exact same list I was doing when I was doing my Hyperdriver shenanigans a little bit. She started with a Hyperdriver out when I started with a Plasma mainline on that deck, but she was running the Hanabi, running the Underloops, trying to keep stuff in the deck for boosting, trying to go wide. It's just the Boom Grenades are what kind of carried me in that game. She had never seen or played against a Dash that ran Boom Grenades. So then when the first one hit, after she just let 1 leak and brought it to 5, she's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. And then I ended up max Ving twice that game. So deck decided to wake up that game.
Sure. Yeah.
Had to show him who the real Dash was.
Exactly.
Well, he wasn't gonna 0-2 drop over there either.
No. I gotta try to claw my MR back, man. But game 4 was into a Viscerai.
Taking the headphones off. He's out. Bailey's out of here.
He's gone. But game 4 into Vis, I've never been worried about Viscerai.
Viscerai, huh?
Yeah.
That was Christian, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
I honestly can't remember.
He's been he's played at Legends before at some of our skirmishes over the years.
That's
Yeah.
good shit.
Yeah, he's always on some weird form of rune blade. It seems like. Or
It was honestly looking pretty dicey for a while because he built up to 18 rune chance and had blocked me out pretty well at that point. And throws the 9th Blade of the Blood Oath with 18 runes on it, so 27. I'm
good.
sitting there. I've still got my pound. No, I didn't have the pounder. I had the core at that point. I have a red boom out, and I've just got the nuts hand. I've got a counter on Hanabi, and I got a max V in Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if I take this, I better just start pushing.
Yeah.
And I take 27. And he goes, sheesh. And from that point on, I just started cooking.
Yeah.
And the final game was Fi. And that is always 50-50. That is always who can race.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's your kind of match, honestly.
Apparently not. Fi got me. Yeah, it was. He did the Mask of the Pouncing Lynx and went to get Assault the Wound. Because I had a good turn set up again. I had the max V in Arsenal. I'm like, all right, I just take this last hit. And, we're still sitting around 17 life. And he, Mask of Lynx. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, every time they hit the links, it's like
It's good.
now they can just go get either one they need.
Tenacity
with the tenacity.
or-
It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, he Salt the Wounded me for 8. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple fives there too.
How many?
We had I don't know. It was I don't think we actually got a distinct hero number. I should ask maybe the judge to see if he's got that data on hand. But
Yep.
we had 53 players there.
Damn.
That's
That
good
was
amount.
awesome.
And it was funny, halfway through the tournament, there was the other half of the shop was Magic, and people were painting minis, and there was still plenty of room. With, with the 53 players there. So, we had all the room, all the elbow room. It's freaking really nice.
Gotta
playing
love
there.
those shops, dude.
Yeah.
You just got nothing to worry about. Always space, plenty of places to
Shout
roam.
out to Battlegrounds Cafe, White Bear Lake.
Big facility. Highly recommend.
Yeah. So Dash wasn't it, huh? That wasn't
No,
the pick.
I ended up.
He was so mad. He kept just bitching about wanting to play Riptide or wishing he could have played Riptide. And it's he's got Sean in the back, just 2 and 4. Did he go 2 and 4?
Yep, me
2
and,
4
me
on
and Sean
Riptide,
both
yeah.
went 2 and 4. Honestly, I was so nervous when we were both 0 and 2 that I was gonna play Sean's Riptide
Yeah.
and get beat by the deck I wanted to bring. I was texting Wesley when it was happening. I'm like, this is not happening. This is not gonna be how
Yeah.
this day goes, right? Tell me it can't be that bad. Fortunately, it didn't happen. But yeah, Dash was evidently not the move. I have since decided that I'm probably going to land on Arachne for my next competitive event. Because, I don't know.
It's not a terrible choice.
It's not a terrible choice. It's always going to be strong just banishing a card off the top of someone's deck.
Mm-hmm.
And if I play into
good
what I
against
want to
me.
do, which is the contract, I just want to do a contract Arachne to banish and do things with silver,
Yep.
And the card selection they get is great. We've got Already Dead, which is just a huge card. Nice little popper. That's an assassin main.
It just feels like you would just love to play an assassin. Just the way Cliff likes to kind of
Play and just his style.
Arachne, it feels just annoying in your hands, honestly.
The other thing,
Dude, I've been thinking about it. I've been putting together some Arachne lists.
I got an extra black
What is
picks
it?
for you.
What is this shit? What is everyone starting to play Arachne? What is fucking happening here, dude?
well, the reason that I'm landing on him is one, I do like the way he can line his chains up. He can still kind of do big-ish chains, but it's more the on-hit forcing for him. And two, he is also capable of defending extremely well thanks to just buying your equipment back.
Yeah.
That is
You get some value
massive.
out of the equipment.
Every card blocks for 3 too.
It's not like it's like they're no Valiant Dynamos by any means, but because you don't always have the silver to buy them back.
No.
So you do have to do some work to get to buy them back, but you get definitely more than you get at least when you start to get like 3-4 points of value out of them, or points
It's
of
huge.
life.
I was
big.
I did the math when me and Wes, when I was playing Arachne a bunch into him, I was probably averaging 15 block off of my equipment.
Jesus, that's a lot. That's more than I would think.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it was into his Phi, so I just had to hit Eradicate and leave no witness. And hey, look at that! I got 5 silver off of this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, at least, the like type of disruption that he's able to do feels a little more reminiscent to like the kind of disruption that I was running in Acelander, even more so than like Azuri. Like he's just disrupting hands, messing with your deck.
He's got his
It's-
sticky little paws in everything you're doing.
It's nothing like super sneaky. Like you kind of know
Yeah.
what he's doing, but it's the like mental game behind it.
His new Majestic too. I mean,
It's huge.
it's a real card.
It is.
It's a
It's
real card.
really good.
I got my play set. I just need a command and
You
conquer
should have
now.
seen this guy, dude, after top 8 was called.
He
and-
told me he was just
Dude,
wheeling and
the
dealing.
whole. I'm watching the top 8 with the boys, right? And we're just sitting there watching it. I'm like, where the fuck is Cliff? And I see him over there. And then 5 minutes later, I see him over here. And he's just got his binder open, or someone else's binder open the whole time. And he's fucking moving across. And then, like top 4 is finally, the 4 winners have been called. And he comes
Yep.
over and he's got his binder packed up and he's ready to go. Little bit of hair poking out of his beanie. Like, he just looks so disheveled. Like, he's been through some shit, dude.
Hey man, I
Oh, it
was, I
was
was
the best.
working in that market.
It was the fucking best.
Dude, those at events like that, you can honestly get some of the best deals because we trade between each other most of the time. So, like, when we were at that one at, what is that, Dumpster Cat, I think I got, like, half the other dragons that I needed, like, half the big stuff that I needed. I got the Uzuri.
I got my promo
Cold foil.
Good Time Chapeau, so I'm exuberant. But yeah, that's going to be my game plan. I also have a Degenerate Riptide deck idea, if you guys want to hear that or have me save it for later.
No, go ahead.
No,
So, you know, we've been talking about that one, that they're doing the Nourishing Emptiness, the Remembrance to bring Codex and Nourishing back.
Yep.
I think if you do a CC and you add in Enchanting Melody for just the prevention and ward effect, and then you also add in the Test of Strength and like the Clash block, because what is that doing for Riptide? Oh, you just won that clash. Here, have a Might. Oh, you just won that clash. Have an Agility. So
you don't care if they win the clash, you mean?
No, I do. I want them to.
No,
Because
I'm
that
saying,
turns
or-
all the Riptide's traps for damage.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You want, like, I'm saying you don't care if they get the benefit. Because it almost is giving you a hidden
kind of like
benefit,
his
too.
specialization.
Right.
that
Yeah.
Giving them all the
gives
tokens. Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just keep cycling the Nourishings out to throw them when you can. You remembrance back your codexes to get the Nourishings, and you sit there and you basically force yourself to lose them to the clash effects so that you can keep pinging them for traps. And
Yeah.
then you Enchanting Melody to help mitigate the damage, and so that when it's your turn, you don't just arsenal a trap. You give yourself something on the board to block.
True.
I mean, I can see it. You're fatiguing, right? Most times with Arachne, you're just blocking a lot. Test of Strength is...
Speaking of fatigue, Bailey, have you seen how many RTNs Bolton fatigue has won?
A
Has
lot.
it been Bolton fatigue?
Yes.
Decimator fatigue Bolton.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure about
Dead
that?
serious.
Positive.
Where have you... What?
Look on the, if you go to Flesh and Blood's page and you look at the deck list, the ones that have been posted, few RTN ones that have had Bolton win.
They're already up, like, from this last weekend? Wow. Holy shit. That's quick. It's
He's
like a quick
picked up
turnaround.
like 12 wins too. hasn't
Yeah.
There were
he?
some Boltons. There were some Boltons at the RTNs. There's
Combo
one
Boltons
Kano.
or-
I saw one Kano there in 53.
I
There
heard
was
there's
two.
two.
Was there?
There was two
Yeah.
yesterday.
Okay.
I'm sad I didn't catch any.
I only
of them.
saw the one. God, I really
Really?
wish we would have had a hero distribution. I don't think there's another Teklo. I didn't hear of any other Teklo in the room.
I think you're the only madman
So
there.
that makes me proud.
Sticking it out. Well, speaking of Teklo, how'd your
Yeah,
RTN go?
I can go into it. Yesterday was the first time I fucking finally felt validated about the deck, to be honest with you. I've always, like, talked it up and talked my shit. But a lot of that is just kind of hyperbole, and, like, I just, like, I like talking shit to you guys, too, and, like,
Yep.
I say the deck's cracked, when I know, like, deep down that there's so many flaws in the deck, but, like, this list is, like, really solid, I think, the list I finally came up with. I'm so fucking sad we can't play next weekend. Like, I felt like, 2 weekends ago was, like, I learned a bunch of lessons, changed some things. This last weekend rewarded for some of the things I changed, and now it's like I need that last push. I went 4-2 yesterday and placed 12th, bubbled out.
It's not bad.
No, won round 1, so like I had a chance at the end there, But I mean, in 53 players, there's probably some players that went on a run and then lost the last 2 or something like that. Some of the 4-2s that get in on those, we played 6 rounds, so yeah, you just always want to go X1 when you have that many players. But round 1, I played a Vin set. It was such a weird day, man. I was like beating my bad matchups, losing to my good ones against good players, mind you. But round 1 was Vin set. Kind of a newer player, I think. But he was playing a Looming Doom Vin set. He was like building up rune chants and stuff. He wasn't really attacking me every time. And he did get a Looming Doom off.
I've thought about doing that.
Which was I mean, it did 8 damage to me over the game. I think he put 4 counters on it. But Rusted Relic was one of the cards I cut, just like going into this weekend, kind of cutting on the Kano hate for other areas. And so I have 2 of them still. I didn't see a single one until like the end of my first cycle. And by the time I actually saw him, it was time to kill him anyways. So like I actually didn't establish a Rusted Relic, and I haven't beat a Vincent that way ever. The only way I beat Bailey that first game we played was because I Rusted Relic. I think turn 1 or turn 0.
I think it was like turn 1 or something.
It was just like opening hand. I just like Rusted Relic. Oh yay, AB now for the rest of the game. Like, I get to block all of it.
I think I even I was just like fuck.
Yeah.
Like.
But no, I just was able to mitigate his blocks with his attacks with blocks from armor and stuff a lot. I mean, he leaked a ton of arcane damage, and I was just barely able to play my evos out. I didn't really stumble on the evos. I played them pretty consistently throughout the game. When I hit Singularity, it was just that game ended pretty quickly after that. Mm-hmm. Felt like I kind of stole that game, honestly. It always feels like that when you play Singularity. He was at 30 plus health, I think. I hadn't really been attacking him much, just blocking, playing evos. And yeah, I don't think he had played Tekla before. We chatted before after the game. Very, very nice guy. I think he was one of the North Dakota crew. Shout out to those guys. I did want to shout them out. There's a couple of guys from North Dakota. What were their names? Hold on. Owen, I know, was from North Dakota, and guy that just joined our Discord here. Derek. Yeah. They made like a 5-hour drive, bro, to play in the RTN. I was like, hey, come play in the ProQuest. It's in Watertown. It's a few months. It's probably a shorter drive for you. Yeah. We're closer,
Yeah.
But second round, I played fucking Dylan Dietz. Last weekend I was joking with him how I was like, oh, you're a Kasai. I wanted to play all the Kasais.
Yep.
Pretty good into Kasai in our testing. And, of course, into this game, we're bantering a little too and stuff. And he's a good guy. Him and I go way back from the very start of, I think, him and I both getting into the game. About middle through the game, he activates Kasai for the first time and just attacks for 2 or whatever. And I'm like, a gold? Just a gold? he word for word is like, just a gold, huh? He's like, I'm going to make you regret that. We're laughing, whatever. And sure fucking enough, dude. End of the game, dude. I'm like, man, those golds. What was I doing the whole fucking game? And then, long story shorty, I mean, he transformed 3 of them into Centauri Cell Swords. I ended up picking one off before I transformed into Singularity. There was probably a few turns where I could have waited to kill the other ones. Looking back now, I absolutely should have killed them. There was a big punt on my part, just letting them stick around. Yeah, the Centauri Cell Swords for any sort of fatigue plan are very annoying when you don't have the go again.
Yeah.
The dumb thing was I actually did have the go again. This was another kind of punt. I had the Liquid Cool Mayhem, I think a turn or 2 after I transformed. It's just a 4 with 0 cost go again when you after you transform. That should just say Centauri Cell Sword Killer on it.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I just sent it upstairs, just not thinking. I think he was around 10 or less life, so I'm just trying to kill him. I think maybe at that point, but
yep.
He ends up taking all of my my Teklo attacks, exhausts them all. Just ended up drawing muddling kind of blue hands, The tanks were really weird. He was able to kind of block some of my tanks with his reacts, and because you get around the overpower and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, and he's just overall like a good fucking player.
Yeah.
Like, good on him to just prey on my mistakes, because that's what happens when you make mistakes like that. And yeah, like with the gold and Kasai, it's weird. I do want to say, like, they're not just the gold. They're not just the fucking gold. You look at that card and you pay the 2 into it, right? If you have a blue, you're left with the 1 resource. But now your attacks are both free on your sword, so it's like 2 free resources.
Yep.
So you kind of get a return on the 2 resources. So you're like up a resource plus a card. Like, I mean, it's not just the gold.
No, it's good.
Oh man,
Just all in all.
So yeah, after that, I was 1-1. I was kind of bummed out after that game, to be honest, because like I felt like I just threw it away. I did. But after that, I played Prism 2, and let me tell you, I was kind of tilted in that game, because I'm like, oh, yep, here we go. Here's the downfall of the day, right? Like lose the deets in my good matchup. Now I play another terrible matchup for me. I got a little bit of tech into it this time, bringing in the Scar for Scars for their Angels, which, let me tell you, it was good.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. I think 2 of my Scars, I think cashed them. Two of them in for Angels.
Because
one of them being Erudition. So.
They block pretty well, which is the thing. Prisms do. So you're most of the time going to have less life throughout most of that game.
Yeah, right? A lot of times, though, like you just like are fine with attack. Like the go again, if you get it, is beneficial for sure. But most times you're fine with just saying,
just that.
Pop a thing, Scar for Scar, your Angel. So you're like, double dipping.
Yep.
It's just like an efficient, good turn cycle for you a lot of times. There was speaking of the go again, I almost took damage at the end of the game to trigger the go again on Scar to just try to go for the kill, and it was 100% the wrong play. And I'm so fucking glad I thought myself out of that play.
Yep.
Because I think I won the game because of it. I almost went to 4, and he was at 7 or something. And I was just gonna try to go off, but he ended up. I ended up looking back, and I would have lost the game if I did that. But no, turn 3 or 4 in, right? I'm drawing up whatever. I'm feeling good. I'm drawing my poppers, whatever. He's not really doing much. Playing evos even. I had all my evos pretty quickly in this game. He was taking a lot of damage too. My levelers were always he never really blocked. He took a 7 damage from a junkyard dog. And when you start at 32 life, and he was sub 20 before I even transformed. It was, I mean, the
Wild.
tanks after transforming were,
a house.
they were insane. But yeah, turn 3 or 4 in. I look at my hand. I draw my induction chamber, right? I'm like, all right, here we go. Sweet. Get my induction chamber, get the double pistol, right? I look down, Tekla leveler. I'm just like, oh, wait, what? So I want to call a judge on myself for being a fucking idiot. I'm just like,
Judge,
can we rewind? Can we rewind and just let me go back 7 turns and from re-sideboard? I don't know why I just misplayed here.
Yep.
Before we even sat down, but I don't know what happened, man. It was just a brain fart. It's just one of those things.
Dude,
and
days like that bring it to you, though.
I was so tilted, not on the outside. I always try to be a humble and good player, but inside I was so fucking mad at myself. I just felt so defeated, dude. I was I'm about to fucking X2 here to my bad matchup. Don't even bring up my pistol. I'm just no, how is this happening? And no, there was. I just consistently drew the poppers, man. I had I think I run 15, just 9 naturally. Plus I have the CNCs and the junkyards now, and I just continuously popped his stuff, killed his Angels. He did a bunch of arcane damage to me. There was a turn I could have played the Rusted. I have the 1 Rusted Relic into Prism, but I just attacked with a tank, so it was.
Attacking with the tank is probably much better math.
I couldn't believe it, honestly. Squeezing that game out kind of just set the tone of the day. I was all right, here we go. We're back in, boys. I beat 2 of my bad matchups, lost my good one. What the fuck's happening here? It's just a weird day, but let's go. Let's ride this horse.
Just all distraught off what's going on.
Oh man, I after seeing the induction chamber. Oh, that turn cycle too was terrible, mind you. It's just a dead red card now for the rest of the game in my deck, which is does nothing.
Yep.
It literally does nothing, and it doesn't block,
nothing.
and it's red. So if I ever see it again, which I luckily didn't get to that part. No,
good.
I killed him beforehand. Like I said, he leaked a lot of damage that he just probably shouldn't have it as Prism. They play pretty defensive.
It's second cycle.
He was very, very aggressive. Dude, he had his library out. It was on for 3 or 4 turns.
He was running library
Yes.
in it?
Yes, bro. And it was on. He had 5 cards multiple times in that game.
Was it working well?
Yes. Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing multiple auras out and stuff. And, like, I just, like, thinking that game was kind of a blur, to be honest with you. It's hard for me to even, like, think what the fuck happened into it. Because I, like, ended up, like, winning afterwards. And I'm like, all right, well, good game. Like,
GG's.
Yeah, it was crazy. But after that, I played round 4. I played a Dory. This was a fucking weird game, man. I remember, like, I had my helmet on for, well, the entire game until I think that I, like, maybe a little over 20 cards left in my deck. I still had my helmet on, bro. Yes, I was, like, overblocking his Dawn Blade, trying to prevent the go again in the counters, and, you know, like, he ended up just, like, not having it a lot of times, where, like, eventually I'm like, okay, I gotta stop overblocking. I'm about to fucking fatigue myself. And I'm, like, looking at my scrap plan, right? I know I still have a couple scrap cards in there. So I ended up, like, double blue scrap compactoring back 2 of the pieces, and then drew my last legs in deck, and, like, had to play them that way. And just, like, at that point, he was kind of just, like, naked Dawn Blading me, and, like, it was easy to take the damage, and he wasn't really, like, I wasn't triggering his reprise. So he was at the point in his deck where I don't think he had pitch stack at that point, so it's a lot of blues and stuff. So it was just, like, the perfect amount of time for me to scrap all of my shit quick and, like, get it on and fucking, because I had Singularity in Arsenal the whole game, like, just waiting and for time. I finally had my time right at the end. You know, I think I had 12 cards in my deck when I beat him. You know, it was quick, it was close for, you know, for me being fatigued. And it was just me overblocking his Dawn Blade for fucking most of the game.
Hey.
Block for 9, block for 9, block for 9.
Hey.
It was like,
I mean, you took it down.
No, I know. I had realized kind of what was happening, though, when he was, like, into all of his blues and yellows. And so I'm feeling really good at that point, right? 3-1. You know, really honestly, one more win probably locks you. You know, you go 4-1 and lose the last round. Those are usually the 4-2s that make it. You know? And then, round 5, I played really good player, Andrew Rothermel. Shout out to him. He's one of our local Minnesota guys. He was also on Dory. A couple things I want to note. I also want to say, like, I think I punted this game. He's also just a great player, so good on him for fucking, seeing it and taking advantage of it. I cut Remembrance in my sideboarding plans, right? For Dory. The game before, I realized, like, while I'm realizing I'm getting fatigued, that I don't have Remembrance in my deck, and I'm starting to kind of panic a little. I'm like, oh no. And just kind of from, like, recency bias, I'm like, man, we're going to keep the Remembrance in here for Andrew, right? That card ended up costing me a tank into Teklo attack at the end of the game. You might have seen that turn that I'm talking about, where it was, like, double blue with the yellow in hand, and then I think I forgot exactly what it was. It prevented me from attacking with, like, the tank plus Teklo. And then my Fabricate that the game before also did not matter. I attacked a couple times and killed the guy. Like, my extra attacks on Teklo with Fabricate that I put under the Evo. I only run the 2 Fabricates, so you kind of have to put them both under Evos to get that extra attack on him. And for some reason, there was a sneaky line to sneak the card into play. I chose to banish an Evo and then plus the defense. And so I banished, like, a headpiece and drew a card, was able to play the headpiece. But now I know, so my second Fabricate didn't put it underneath, so now I don't get that extra attack. That also ended up costing me at the end of the game, bro.
No.
Just, like, all of these...
No.
Was that also the game you had the 2 blue throttles you boosted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was also a mistake, where they just have go again. And I was so scared to boost the tank when I had, like, no cards left in deck. They just have natural go again because of fucking Teklo, dude. And I'm like, I choose not to boost. And I think I arsenaled one to, like, just play the safe game where I think I could have attacked with both of them somehow. Or I forget exactly the line, but I know what you're talking about. I had one in Arsenal and one. But the worst part of this game, and this actually wasn't my fault. This was not, like, I don't think I was at my second cycle here yet. But when I transformed into Teklovas, and you get to put the tank 5th from the top, right? Or you get to put 2 tanks. the way I have it set up because I only have the blue Evos. So they all trigger twice. The arms triggers, I get to put 2 attack actions. Most times they're tanks. On the top, or 5th from the top. I don't have a Terminator tank or a fucking, or the Arsenal one. It's only like Annihilator and like Junkyard. I swear to God, it was just the weirdest game, man, right? So I put the Annihilator and the Junkyard Dog, 5th from the top. I draw up 5. I look at my hand. It's 3 tanks, another red Junkyard Dog. That's not even the one I put in there.
Yep.
Plus a blue. And I had an Arsenal that was also a tank. So Andrew's life, he was at 20 at that point as well. If I draw just 3 blues, 4 blues is perfect here. Or no, I think it is 3 blues. You get to go tank, Teklo at 20 life. You know, if you have any sort of like discard with the Teklo there too, that's really good.
Yep.
But at 20 life with the 2 overpower 9s and a 6 behind it, it's usually how you come back into games.
Yeah.
You know, you draw up a bunch of blues, you get that at least 1 red. Sometimes you get to attack with the 2 tanks plus Teklo, which is like that's the
gas turn.
Every once in a while, you just get to attack with 2 tanks. That's it, or just a tank and Teklo. This time, I just pitched 3 reds, played a tank, pitched the blue, attacked with Teklo. He just was able to run me out of cards and run me out of threats because those were like the rest of my threats all in one clump. You know, now at the bottom of my deck,
just gone.
And he just killed me with a rupture at the end with the +3. Yeah, it was just, it was a bummer. It was a bummer to lose that way, you know. Teklo is such a weird deck where any sort of small like misstep like that can just cost you games. Just, you know.
You hate those Dory matchups when they get those reprises off, and you have to force yourself to block with a whole hand. Because let me tell you, playing Dory and stuff like that, you do get those red hands, and you do get some of those clunky hands, and it is gross. Yeah. You hate playing with it. So I'm guessing he was feeling some of the same pain on that side too.
Yeah. No, like I said, I misplayed the Fabricate for sure. Bringing in the Remembrance, which ended up costing. I didn't even need it. Looking back now, if I fucking would have played the thing, I think I pitched it for something. If I would have played the thing, I would have just like shuffled my deck or.
No, I think you did play it that game. I think you did play the Remembrance.
Did I put that in Arsenal? Is that what happened? And I pitched. I think I pitched
No,
the blue
just,
for a throttle and just like Arsenal the Remembrance.
No, you played the throttle, I think, but you played the Remembrance at instant on your turn to shuffle your tanks or whatever back into your deck.
So there you go.
I thought it was kind of a weird play.
So I shuffled them all back.
Yeah,
all
right.
on top of each other.
Yeah, as a clump.
Idiot, dude. There's a reason I have a Remembrance cut in Dory, dude. Obviously, I did all that planning beforehand, and I make a split-second decision in the middle of a tournament just because of my last game. But that game was so weird. I shouldn't have put any, like... Yeah, anyways. 3-2 at that point, dude. Like, kind of knowing, like, I have to win the last one to even have a chance, and I probably don't in a big tournament like that. Going, you know, win-loss, basically all day.
Yep.
But I played Bolton. My opponent, I think, was one of the guys from North Dakota. Really nice dude.
Was he on the fatigue?
No, he was on
combo.
Raiden Bolton with the Lumina.
Yeah,
that one's good still too.
I love that build. Raiden is just such a house.
Yeah, in order to win that match, like it's a weird deck because like they have to do some setup, right? So they're kind of like dink around a little bit. You know, their attacks always cost them a card, plus they have to charge and shit. So, like, you know, they're pretty easy to block. You just have to kind of, like, hope they don't have the Lumina, or the double Lumina, you know. I just bring in CNCs and hope my Arsenal disruption is enough, because a lot of times they'll park one in Arsenal and wait for the second one, you know.
Yep.
I think I did actually blow up one of his in Arsenal when it had overpower endgame, which probably saved me that game. It was also just like such a close game. So close. It was right down to the wire. He played it very well. But yeah, ended up 4-2 on the day. Like I said, I finally felt freaking validated on Teklo, you know. Lost some games that I think I probably, you know, looking back, I could have done some things differently. So that like gives me a little solace on the day, you know, because I was like so bummed, dude. I got home, you know, that drive home, it was kind of funny. Like I'm just eating beef jerky. We're all kind of silent, just like trying to decompress, you know. And like I'm just like so bummed out, right? I'm just like, how did that just happen? I was so close. It's always fucking so close. And I get home, right? My kid's like, hey, you want to play Pokemon? The card game, right?
Yep.
He's never fucking asked me to play Pokemon. He just doesn't ask me to play anymore. And he doesn't know I just like went through this whole, stressful day.
Yep.
6 rounds of Swiss, it's like 7-8 hours of just fucking playing cards.
Playing cards.
And it's just like all of me being bummed out just like left. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, let's play some fucking Pokemon. And it's just like, I didn't even care anymore.
No.
It's just like, that is one thing I did want to say. A lot of players go to these things and they set goals for themselves. I mean, there's 53 players there. 4 of them walk away with the goals they set.
Yep.
That's not many. That's not many of you walk away successful, if you will.
Yeah.
In quotes. You just have to remember, dude, there's always the next one. There's always the next one. Just, like, don't beat yourself up like I do. Like, I go to these things and I set pretty high goals for myself nowadays. And it was nice to go positive, I guess, on the day with such a unproven deck, I'll say.
Sure,
Okay.
let's just go ahead and rub it in, why don't you?
I'm not trying to, man. It was a sense of pride for me, man. That deck it's a fucking weird deck, and it actually has some power. It does a thing in the game that I don't think any other deck really can offer. And it's like, I mean, it is a combo. It's like a 1-card combo. You just have to do a ton of work to get there.
Yeah.
And like that's the part that's fun.
No, you definitely deserve wins on that deck. You've put the time and effort into it, and everyone was always telling you, like, we can kind of see what you're saying, but we think you're crazy. But then you kind of got it figured out, and it's like, okay, you're cooking, brother. What else you got in the pot? And that deck has just slowly and surely become what it is now, which is 4-2. That's in contention for a top 8.
Yeah, and leaving some games that I think I probably could have had back on the table is like makes me feel okay on the day about it. I think the deck list is strong. Our judge had watched both weekends. I'd seen him kind of gandering around all day. He gets to kind of see all the matchups and the hero spreads. And I asked him what place I took before we left, and he told me I placed 12th, and he just kind of looked at me and he's like, "Hey, man. Incredible run, seriously." And he meant, and I was like, "Hey, thanks, dude." That kind of made me, smile a little, because he meant like, "Hey, you did a good job with your fucking shitty deck." Is what Peter meant.
Stinky tuna fish sandwich.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
No, that's good though. I'm glad that you guys had fun, and we had a total of how many players on our team? 7.
Yeah, there were 7 of us, I think, that showed up.
Oh, also shout out to Gabriel again for popping out. We ran into him at this other RTN too.
Yeah, he did. He came up and said hi, and we chatted up a little bit. He's a good dude. He stayed and watched, I think, the top 8 a little bit with us too at the end there.
Yeah, just taking a peek at it.
There was a couple guys. I did want to shout out Matthew Tickle too. He listens to the pod, and he gave me his card, and we might make some sleeves or something with him, I'm thinking, or
Boom.
might have to hit him up.
Maybe at the PQ we can PTQ give some out.
Oh, I'd love to get some Big Deck Energy sleeves. That'd be great. One other notable thing about the tournament I did want to say, I think Joseph Mendez and I were talking. He was on Dromai, and I did a little bit of teching in my deck for that matchup, and I think he was the only Dromai out of the 53.
Really?
He couldn't find any other Dromais, and I didn't see any others as well. We were talking a little bit at the end. So that's kind of funny. It was that kind of day. You tech for Dromai, there's one in the room. You play Vincent Prism.
Dude, it sounded like there was like a widespread of heroes. And like
that's kind of what we'll get into with our main overarching topic here. But
yes.
Yeah, there was just such a huge spread of heroes. Everywhere I looked, someone was playing something else. Mind you, I'm surrounded by fucking Guardians all day. Can't find a Guardian all RTN season, I'll tell you what.
Dude.
It's one of my favorite matchups with Teklo, but I can't seem to find one with them.
No.
Dude.
Was there more Victors or more Bravos? More Victors?
And that's actually the one I think I am more favored into than a Bravo.
The Bravo.
Yeah. Victors play a little slower than Bravo. I mean, you can build Victor kind of like you do with the aggressive Bravo decks, but transformed in every game, all 6 rounds.
There you go.
So
That's
I think
that's a plus.
Well, yeah, man. The whole problem I think with looking at the deck at first was like, how do you get there? How do you make this good? You know? You cut the reds. You play efficient as fuck. It's an Icelander deck, really, dude.
Yeah.
You set up this crazy weird wombo thing at the end, and you play efficiently. Every once in a while, you'll throw a 7 at them or 9 overpower if you know.
Yep.
But yeah, it transformed in every deck. I think the deck is at the point now. The list is solid enough where like if you pick the list up and kind of learn the shit, you're gonna be transforming a lot and seeing what the deck can do.
Yeah.
So that was another plus I think on the day. It was able to transform into Singularity or play that card all 6 games.
Well, off of some of that RTN talk, why don't we get into the meta? Ty, I know you said you had a good question for us.
I just wrote it on my notes in a big, huge letters. Best meta ever? Question mark.
Yes.
Are we in the best CC meta that Fab has ever had right now?
I'm gonna go out and just say yes. We don't have a triangle like we previously have had all of Flesh and Blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we first got into the game, it was pretty much just like Prism, Starvo,
Chain. Yeah.
And Briar, I guess when Briar became eroded.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the first triangle. Second triangle was Lexi, Oldhim, and who else was it? Lexi, Oldhim.
Oh, that was even before. I think you're just thinking Oldhim Icelander like 5.
Icelander, yeah, it was like. Yeah, it was
like
Icelander. It was Icelander, Oldhim, and I mean Lexi wasn't really there, but like
no,
5.
Not yet. No.
When he had stubby hammers and stuff like that, like. All we've had is constant triangles, and right now the meta is so wide open. Like, talking over these past 2 RTNs, you were saying that you didn't see any Vinsets the first one. Then we saw Vinsets and 1 Dromai at this one.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was filled with Dromais.
Oh, yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of them.
A couple more Azaleas and stuff. Like, the meta's wide open.
Mm.
It's literally capable to anybody.
Oh, before we talk about this meta, we should maybe shout out the top 8 and stuff for our... the top 8 for the RTN at Battlegrounds was Luke Magnuson on Azuri, Joseph Mendez playing Dromai, Dominic Delmont on Kasai, Nick Gabler on Azalea, Matthew Tickle playing Dash, Cole Love on Dorinthia, Chris Dietz playing Azalea, and Dantes Irvine playing Katsu. We got to sit back and watch the top 8. That was pretty sweet. Top 4 qualified for Nats were Nick Gabler, Chris Dietz, Cole Love, and Joseph Mendez. And I believe Nick Gabler won the event. Pulled a gold gallantry. Or gallantry gold.
Ooh,
yeah.
Talking Bailey's language over there.
I know, his face just perked up. Mm-hmm. What?
You talking gold, gallantry gold?
Peter got the cold foil Rousey Ancients. That's pretty sweet.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a hit.
Better than his Enchanting Melody or whatever that was. Or Chains of
Eminence.
Eminence.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Not gonna lie, I would probably do some atrocious things for the cold foil Nourishing Emptiness.
Dude, the cold foil Nourishing. I mean, even Rouse, too.
He's like, yeah, I think I want to be a judge or whatever. I'm like, yeah, do you? He's like, yeah, those cold foil Nourishing Emptinesses look really nice. I'm like, so you just expect to pull it out of a judge bag?
Well, think about it. I mean,
so funny.
Like, if you were to go judge Nats, like level 1 judge, you can judge like the calling, you can judge all the side events, you get judge packs for all those, man.
Did we shout out Nathan last, or did we just learn that this week he gets to judge at Nats, one of our locals?
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did he pass the level 2 test?
I don't know. I don't know if that's a requirement, but he got the email and stuff, and he's
sick.
He's going to be judging at Nats in Minneapolis this year. So
Good stuff.
Yeah. Good for you, Nathan.
Get to heckle him as I yell judge. Judge, you suck.
Now I'm gonna call Nathan over every match and have him explain the card to me. I'm gonna play like a Scar for a Scar and call him over. Judge, how does this card work?
But what do you guys think about the meta? I mean, after that top 8.
I mean, it is wide open. There's a lot of different things that you can do right now, and it's honestly great. Like you were saying, like coming out of these constant triangle metas, this feels so good and refreshing, honestly.
It's honestly anybody's game at this point. I mean, Ty's even over here playing stinky tuna fish sandwich. And
I
going
never, I
4-2.
mean,
in the
dude,
game.
I never would have thought I'd be off Azalea, to be honest. Like, there's 2 Azaleas that top 4, and it just made me think, like, again, just kind of getting into my own head all bummed out. Like, fuck, man, like, the answer's right there. Like, it's that's my deck. Like, you know, I don't have fucking gold foils for that deck for no reason, dude.
Factual.
Like, I'm so mad. I don't even get to show them off. It's fucking bullshit.
You've had the reps. You've played it enough. But
I
you just enjoy Teklo.
I love Teklo.
Dude, see, that's the
Like,
thing.
I enjoy playing Teklo way more than I enjoy playing Azalea. It's not even close. It's not even fucking close, dude. Like the puzzle that
like-
Teklo is at the start of every game is fucking wild to me.
That's like the Fi meta. Like, I enjoyed playing Fi. Fi's the answer. Super easy, but I just played Dory when Dory still wasn't, like, up to par. And it's like, you find the deck that you like, and you just enjoy playing it over time. So, stick to what you know. And honestly, I think in this meta with that, just that knowledge of, like, stick to what you know is going to get you places.
Yeah, I think it's a very, like, I think the meta we have right now is it's a very, like, pilot meta, if that makes sense. Like, it kind of is very determinant on pilot skill. I don't envy any, like, player going to PT next month that's this month.
PTQ, April.
No, like the Pro Tour. Isn't that March? Isn't that, like, end of March? Am I crazy?
No, because we have the PTQ.
No, the Pro Tour, bro. Like, Pro Tour Los Angeles. Like, our PQ is for, like, Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And that's in a few months. Or
You're
2
right.
months. But yeah, like, imagine going to that event or going to, like, a pro level event like this and trying to, like, figure out anything. Like I said, like, the day I had was just so weird, you know, like, boarded to fight the Dromai. There's one Dromai in the room, you know.
Yep.
My deck's great against, like, the Guardians. Guardians are a good pick right now, you know. People are playing them and just dodge all of them. Like, that type of shit happens all the time. Like,
Yeah.
And, like, with Kasai, like, well, I know a lot of people aren't Kasai. Dory, according to our RTNs, is great. I can't beat a Dory for my life, you know.
As much hate as I've always given Dory, I've always hated playing Dory.
I think Teklo's actually pretty good into Dory. I just flubbed it.
You see, Teklo might be good into it. Any deck I play might, on paper, be good into it. I'm not good into Dory.
Oh, that was so funny.
I can't block a Dawnblade to save my life.
No, it is annoying.
Especially when you're drawn right. Like,
I'm
if you're,
surprised that you're not on Dory again.
I still have her built.
No, I know. But
Like-
like brought
like
her
to
to the
the
shop
T.
at CC.
Well,
like
I
in CC.
haven't had much time. It's been the RTN season too, so it's like we're not even playing at the shop. And like
Oh, dude.
the days that I can't, it's like I can maybe get Drew over here. Like,
Yeah.
Bailey's working, you're working, and it's like
Yeah.
no time for Fab other than Talishar.
No.
So
Yeah, my wife is going to be very happy that I'm not fucking testing for, you know, hours on end.
Yeah,
Because,
until
I mean,
PT
like,
season.
well, yeah, that is in like 4 weeks.
yeah,
Like, it's
April,
the end of April, right?
It's okay. She gets
Yeah.
it for 4 weeks.
No. It's
mid-April.
like mid-April, yeah.
Mhm.
We're
Then you're
like,
ours again.
yeah, 4 or 5 weeks away.
Yep.
Fuck, dude. Well, I'm gonna have to take a week or two off here, boys, or something, because it's
Join the
been.
club.
Yeah, I was, dude. I was testing really, really.
Wow, you've taken more than a week or two.
Yeah, oh, I know. Plus, I was on a trip. That did not help.
I'm on like a week or two off myself.
It's nice taking breaks. Sometimes you just gotta.
No, after stuff like this, after RTN season, I guess like listeners will probably still have an RTN coming up. I know
Yep.
there's one in our sort of our area, but the last one here was capped at 32. So our team just we got on the ball late, and but I mean most of us we were all planning on making the drive, you know, getting a hotel
Claire.
room or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were gonna like stay the night and just fucking make it a thing.
Yep.
But yeah, it was kind of funny. Like after top 8 got announced and the games were like settled in or whatever, we're all sitting there kind of as a team, and I'm like, well, boys, let's have fun in the calling. Like none of us got there. Damn it, you know, Carter got real close twice.
Can always buy one.
Wes
got close
top
to one.
8'd, you know. So
That would have been amazing for Wes. Like, just a player that we've just, like, helped grown over time, and he goes to his first RTN, top 8s, and
God, I was
gets
talking to
gets
Ben
an
about
invite.
that
Like,
today. We've created a monster.
Legit.
Yeah.
Legit.
Like,
Rise, rise, my beautiful creation.
Better tell him to come to the fucking PQ, man.
Bro, I've been on it. I'm working on it.
there shouldn't be any working on it. It should be a yes by now.
Hey, man.
We got the
It's
date.
not my call. All I can be is the voice of madness inside of his ear.
Yeah, what is the... Well, yeah. We'll talk after.
Going back to this meta though, boys, like what? So if you guys were fucking going to PTLA, what decks are you bringing, or what decks are you thinking about right now?
Honestly, I'm probably just bringing trusty old Azalea.
Yeah,
If
I think that's
if
actually
I
a good
went,
pick, man.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I've been on that deck for so long by this point. I'm super comfortable on it. Like, I know my lines. I know what I'm trying to do, more so than probably any other deck that I've played. I think there'd be that little piece in my brain that, is telling me, oh, Vincent. But Azalea. As
like
much
it.
as I want.
I like it.
I don't know how many times I can express how much I want Vincent to work.
Yeah.
Well,
Azalea's good.
It's
I
just
mean,
very
I'm
good.
pretty sure she's like a B+ tier deck right now.
Oh, I think she's like A tier for sure. She's like right
A
underneath
minus.
KO. KO's I think like the what do you call it? He's the deck that you build your deck to be able to beat or to be able to fight.
Yeah.
Last Pro Tour was Dromai. Everyone showed up. They had to have a plan into Dromai. I think this time around you have to have a plan into KO.
Yep.
People will just play KO because the math is just good.
Mhm.
Like that's just why they'll play KO. So if your deck can't beat KO, like what do you
do?
why bring your deck?
I mean,
But there's so many decks right now.
yeah.
And like we said, I think it's so dependent on pilot skill that like maybe the math in KO isn't just enough. Like, and that's actually a good thing, I think. Like there is
True.
still variance in the deck, and I know it's like much more consistent, but like it's not just like a Starvo or Lexi problem where you sit across from them and you're just like, oh, I'm just dead.
Yeah.
They have to hit their strides and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just bring fucking Teklo, dude, honestly.
I like it.
It's either that or Azalea, along with Bailey. Maybe try to crack a sweet list out.
Yeah,
or
we
something.
can be the two Rangers there. There's actually
No,
quite a
there's
few
gonna be
Azaleas.
some Azaleas at PT
Brody.
for sure.
Brody likes this Azalea.
There's gonna be some I think there's gonna be actually some Boltons too. To be honest with you, I don't know why. There's
Dude.
just gonna be some weird Bolton combo thing going on for this.
Nah, Bolton fatigue.
Dude,
No.
Bolton fatigue. Trust me. Things a house. I know you were joking about bringing it to CC, and people have, and they've won. So I'm telling you, Bailey, just tweak that thing back up. Not a bad choice.
I might.
Josh, who are you bringing?
Like Ty was saying, just with this open meta, it's literally pilot based for your deck and your skill level, I guess, in this meta. So I would have to choose probably like Dory or Kasai. I mean, even though new Kasai is a little different from old Kasai, it's not too much different.
New Kasai's got it going on.
Yeah, like Stacy's mom.
Indeed, like Stacy. Maybe she is Stacy's mom.
Hey, for all we know, she could be.
It's
But-
true. Hey, LSS, does Kasai have kids?
Asking the real questions:
Is
is she
it-
MILF material or not?
It's true.
Cliff, who you bringing to Pro Tour?
God, maybe she's the answer to Drew's question.
We'll get to that one later. So yeah, I really want to test out Arachne right now because I think Arachne's math. Because right now everyone's building the deck based on math, right? They're doing this card as a value of 5.
Yeah, the pro players are for sure. They look at all that shit like on a more numbers basis, I think, than the average player. You're playing for fucking thousands of dollars.
Arachne's got the math figured out right now. Because he's got the Leave No Witness and the Surgical, which are both extremely strong cards. Command and Conquer is, I agree with Carter, it is an honorary assassin card. That card is nuts. The Codexes of Frailties are there. And then the main chains, if you're doing it like I am for the contract build, there's a red attack that targets every single type of attack I could possibly want. I've got attack actions, I've got attack like instance and non-reactions, I've got it for the non-attack actions, so you're able to still build your silver, And you can swap in your daggers to do all sorts of fun things.
I would say the only thing about that is, like, I don't know if Arachne's necessarily a math deck. When you look at KO, on average, he's pumping 16 plus just in the 4 cards he has. With Arachne, like, his 4 cards, a lot of times, like, you have to rely on things hitting. And then you also have to kind of, like, so there's, like, some hidden, like, math that you have to figure out with him. Because, like, if you do hit, you can kind of give it the go again. And then there's, like, this other, another attack you can follow it up with or whatever. But at max, you're still probably pushing maybe, like, something like 10 with a go again. Because if you have 2 attacks, right, you have a blue to pitch.
You're fucking nuts.
Dude, hey, listen. Arachne's math, like, I wouldn't say he's a math deck. He's more of, like, a...
Summer child.
No, dude, think about it. If we're talking like actual just numbers, right? Just straight value, what we're pumping out.
What would you assign Leave No Witness for a value?
Well,
because
again,
you also got to remember, even if it's
Arachne
not
has value in the deck that is very like hidden, and it is very dependent on it's very dependent on other things from happening. And I guess you could kind of say the same thing about KO, but KO, like, on rate, like, his cards, like, the rate that his cards are just above rate. Arachne is playing kind of, like, on-rate cards that, like, need help because they need to hit or they need to have the go again or whatever. And, like, you have the means to make that happen, but, like, you need those means to make it happen, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's not technically a pure math deck. You can get it up to have, like, some good math turns, right? But, like, I don't know if it's just going to pump out that consistent KO fucking 16 plus, right? Like, that's why people are going to bring KO. Because, like, the deck itself is just going to do this fucking mathematical bullshit every single turn, like, on average, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Arachne needs just... whether it's like your opponent not knowing how to play right or block right against them. Where at this point, I think people have played enough Arachne where you're not going to catch many players that... It's like the old Dory thing, When you don't know how to play Dory, you'll just usually get dumpstered. But
that's the thing about reaction heroes is, like, you learn their reactions and, like, how much they can pump up to and what they can do. So it's like, if you can read hands and read those lines, it's kind of like they're not viable in a sense.
Yeah. It makes them less viable, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of, like, that value is that, like, it dependent on if your opponent's blocking from hand or something in Dory's case. Right?
I'm not saying it's a bad deck though. I'm just saying, like,
no.
it's definitely.
I know. I just think Cliff is just, like, maybe
based.
misquote or mislabeling it as a math deck. Like, maybe there's just a better word for it. I don't know what the word is, but it's.
That's a weird thing about assassins. I don't know how to label.
Exactly. It's hard to apply, like, assign value to those cards. Like you said with Leave No Witnesses, I have no idea how to assign the value to that card. Because, like,
if you do it just based on the face value,
right?
Arachne's math comes into the
that's
cards.
what he's talking about with, like, the hidden value.
Like, if you banish 2 reds, you get the 2 silvers, right? So that's worth, like, buying back your shit, or maybe that's worth buying back the 2 banishes off the mask, which you then you banish 2 cards later that are 2 really pivotal reds. Like, so the value of that is, like, fucking who knows what the value of that Leave No Witnesses ends up being, but it needs all of those things to string along to kind of, like, make it cook, I mean, Carter has showed us that when he gets his Arachne's deck going, it's
hard to stop
because it basically disables your ability to have an effective turn if Arachne
a lot of times
is doing his thing.
Well, imagine, like, you banish my Singularity off top or something. Okay.
Toast.
It's, like, invaluable. How do you value that? It's like, oh, no.
That's 21 life for you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, dude, you Leave No Witnesses is what, 21 block plus, like, all my go again for action points? Like,
So
how do you value that?
It definitely just differs in the decks that you're playing against, too. So, like, even in a Dromai, like, if you somehow manage to hit and you banish their Tumulti, that's saving you so much value in the game.
Right.
With just that one dragon being banished. It's like every matchup's different. Like in Warrior, when you banish their attack reactions, that's a huge benefit to you. Especially if it's a go again attack reaction like that.
I'll take your Glint the Quicksilvers every day.
Exactly.
Even if it's off like a Leave No Witness that's looking for reds, I'll take your Leave No.
You're stopping a second swing. You're stopping the counter that Don Blake can get. You're stopping the draw
Reprise
card
effect.
value and the reprise effect of the draw card and just their go again, which is all valuable in one card. It's like 8 points of value. Mm-hmm. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's the deck I should bring. However, I am very interested in this Degenerate Riptide list as well.
I'm so surprised you're not on KO, Cliff. I'm so surprised.
I probably
It does
should
so much
be.
crazy brute shit. It's just like,
It doesn't feel like brute to me.
yeah.
Because brute to
It
me
does feel
is,
a bit generic, where you just
Yes.
like, dude, go again, attack, do the big attack.
It feels very blatantly basic.
Mhm.
And I don't know a better word than it for that. Like, obviously it's a good deck, but there's no flavor, you know?
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm going to do this, and it's going to allow me to just, you know, here's 14 and then claw after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I want something that's got a little taste, you know?
Sure.
Yep.
And probably will and should play Arachne, but I'm going to be testing this Enchanting Melody Riptide Shenaniganry, because I low-key think that it might have something.
I like it.
If we had to, I don't want to do like a tier list right now or anything, but we like think KO's probably best deck, right? Like,
S tier. Yeah.
yeah.
He's
If
up
we
there,
had to
yeah.
like put the next level down, like how many heroes and what heroes are in that tier? Do we think? There's
KO?
probably a good handful of them.
I'd say like
That are
5
viable
that are 4 or
Let's go
5
through
that
them.
are.
There's got to be one Guardian. There can't be both, so it's got to be a flavor.
Victor.
Probably,
Victor over Bravo.
probably
You
Victor
put
right now.
Victor over Bravo?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I'd put Victor over Bravo.
I think most players are kind of coming to that conclusion. Seems like I'm not a Guardian player, so I don't know. But I see a lot of like old Guardian players moving to Victor. Yeah,
It's because of the card draw effect on his hero ability. If you have a card draw effect just accessible like that, it's going to be good. Even if everything else is kind of crap, which Victor's got some tools. Golden Sun is a card. Trounce is a card,
Yeah.
you know?
And just some of those new cards that they even came out that are not Crippling Crush, like obviously Prime to Fight. If you have your Might token and your Vigor token, it's just an on-rate card. The Golden Sun, most disgusting
or
Guardian card.
above rate.
Yeah,
Right? Like it's just way more than it's.
Oh, I reveal this, get a Clash, I get a Golden, I draw a card. Sweet.
like Betsy's one isn't bad, but like the Golden Sun is just nuts. Hands down one of the best specializations to come out of this set.
Yeah, yeah.
It just plays into what Victor wants so much. And I love seeing that type of flavor for the specializations. It's especially nice that he also has that shield specialization, so late game he can pop the shield to just overpower and +3 a Golden
Oh,
Sun.
you mean Shyana Shield?
Yeah, the Shyana
Yeah,
shield.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know which one you're talking about.
Speaking of Shyana, this guy thought I was crazy for wanting to run the Good Time Chappé.
I get it now. I could see it now. You may have convinced me. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, he just kind of got me off the royal helm because you kind of just don't need it with the shield.
No.
Like the one cash in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just cash in the shield. You don't really need the second one. If you need a second one, then like there's other ways to make it.
Yeah.
Money where your mouth is.
Yeah. That might be the ticket. It's just the one cost, right?
Yeah.
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 So you got plenty of resources
3,
to play
2,
with in that
3,
deck.
2, and 1.
The problem is I already have like 6 pummels, so like having
Take
another
out- take out
non-attack
the
action
yellows.
pump. No. I gotta have them. Gotta have them. No, I've gone up
You're
and down
saying this
so
to
many
the
times
pummel
on
guy.
yellow. Dude, you have to have 6. And yes, you'll have hands that you have the fucking 2 or 3 pummels in it, and you're like, God damn it, but you just have to have the 6 because you have to have the pummel when you need the pummel, Cliff. No matter what. I think that's why I like Teklo so much.
Yeah.
He just pummels.
Yeah.
He just discard.
Favorite cards in the deck?
Discard. Hey, discard. Thoughtseize. It's just I loved Jund for that reason. Just get to play Thoughtseize.
You were
and-
one of those guys.
Oh yeah.
So we
I
got
played black in a lot of my.
we got Victor.
Yeah, sorry.
We
Azalea.
got so distracted.
Azalea
Azalea.
definitely goes in that.
You
Yeah,
have
next
to have
level.
Kasai in there.
Kasai.
You have to.
Well, I would think.
Don't
that's-
even-
No,
She-
listen.
She
Here's the
might be
thing.
like S.
She's no.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
think.
S
I don't think she's S tier.
I think
You guys
she's
are
A.
fucking
I think
wild.
she's A.
I think she is unproven at this point. She has like topped some tournaments, and she's won a handful of RTNs. But I do think like the jury's still out on her. I don't know if it's quite.
Really?
I do. I don't know. Like I said, I think she has the potential to be that kind of like A tier, whatever we're calling it. But like, we don't necessarily know quite yet.
It's just a gold, right?
It's not just the gold. It's not just the gold, you guys.
I mean,
Never fucking think it's just the gold.
I'm changing your name on Discord right now.
No.
The name of this episode is hereby dubbed It's Just a Gold.
Oh, fuck you guys.
So
And
yeah,
fuck you, Dylan.
You can't hate on a
I'm
deck
just
when
kidding.
a
Love you,
gold
Dylan.
token provides that much power into it.
Oh,
man.
fuck.
That is a token that they have so many ways to generate, and look at what they can do.
I'll
off
tell you
that.
right now, I'll never underestimate it again. You know, this is going back to kind of Sean's question of this week. You just like sometimes you have to learn the hard way, and you be better next time. That's like it. That's literally it.
I've said it before. This is really a game that the way you get better is having someone kick your front teeth in.
Yeah. No, I'll never fucking let Sellsword stick around again. Ever. I'll take the extra turns I need to kill him off with Leveler and then transform,
Oh,
which
who
was
would've
probably
thought?
what I just do there. But
True.
whatever.
Who would have thought getting rid of the allies would be a good idea? It's
Not
not
this
like
guy.
we've seen that in Prism
Not
and in
this guy.
Dromai.
No.
So, would you guys put Bolton in there though?
No. Not. No.
I would say
it's
he's
too boomer
B
bust,
tier.
man. I don't know.
After week 2, he did take 8 down.
I don't think he's like a deck that. Again, he's like a weird. His math is bad, like on the face of his cards that you have to. It's like usually all of his cards cost 2. You have
Yep.
to pay for 1 and then like charge a card. So
Yep.
it's generally costing you 2 cards from hand, like to attack with like some bullshit yellow 3.
True.
Like, you know. But then you get his cards above rate. You know, he's scary, but you just have to do some work to get there. I don't think he's A tier. I think right now we have Victor, we have Azalea for sure. We have Kasai maybe, right? Kasai maybe.
It's tough.
Dromai's for sure there. I don't know why people are so
Yeah.
off that deck. That deck is still so fucking powerful, I think. And like can just win tournaments. Like it's probably not performing very well these last few weeks, right? There's not a lot of Dromai's.
After week 2, she took down 7.
7.
As well as Bravo and Levia.
Wait, Bravo took down?
7.
He took down 7, so Bravo
Victor
is still
took down
Bravo.
10. KO took down 8.
Is
or
Reinhardt
9.
even in the discussion?
He took he took 3.
Probably
He
not.
took 5.
5.
As well as Katsu and Kasai.
You gotta remember, man.
And
Even though
Kano.
KO is
And
so much
Azalea.
better,
I suppose there
Reinhardt
has
does
to
have
be-
the beat chest going on
No,
for
I know.
him from the new set.
Yeah. I think with all the KO love right now, people, you know, they're probably just not giving Reinhardt the time of day.
No.
But yeah, there has to be some sort of flavor of like aggro, right? Whether that be like Hyper Max Construct or fucking Katsu, maybe.
It
like
does
Fi
say-
and Katsu probably aren't like A tier, but like there has to be an aggro deck there.
A minus.
And
Really
Azalea is an aggro deck. I
A
guess.
minus, I would say. I mean,
Um,
Dash
it's hard to identify which
Extraordinaire
aggro deck. to
had
put.
3. It's funny that Dash IO isn't even a question anymore.
No, I know.
Max is more of a like. You see more Maxes than Dash IOs.
No, yeah.
It's because of the shift into the mid-rangey meta really made the dash fatigue plan extremely viable. And if you're fatiguing with dash, you want to start with the induction chamber or probably the induction chamber just for the automatic go again. And then you get the rest of the game to block and shoot,
Yeah.
and you get the extra 4 health.
It's one of the things actually with Dash, like you never know what flavor it is until they flip over the armor and, and the game starts going. Like with like Tickle and I's game last week, and like I was like kind of like fuck, like here we go, you know, another aggro Dash. And he flips over his suite, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. He's playing fatigue, you know.
Yep.
So it was, you know, like that Dash you can sideboard wrong for Dash if you sideboard for a certain one, and that's a way they can get you. But they also are just like super solid all around. I think they always have been that weird like mechanologist that can kind of
change how they want to play.
Jack of all trades type of deck. You know, they've always felt like that. But yeah, I don't know if she's A tier either though. Again, there's just there's so many heroes that are good, and trying to put them in a tier is weird because like you just look at the top 8 we had last weekend, you know, compared to this week in Minneapolis. Like it's quite different, and I mean that's like an anecdotal, you know, evidence of our RTNs. But
so even after week 2 of the RTNs, it says other heroes 8 wins. The 6 heroes that they have listed: Dorinthia, Phi, Max, Yuzuri, Olympia
won an RTN,
and
fucking A.
Vincent.
Teklo.
Yeah.
Teklo's still off the board. Let's go, dude.
So
Yeah, for
fucking
a
get him
reason.
there. No, I'm getting him there, dude.
So an Olympia won an event before a Teklo.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's crazy.
Let Olympia have all the gold.
Bro, what the
a Vincent.
what was that?
A Vincent won over.
Nobody's dealing with Arcane right now, so the right Vincent player can't just leverage
It's annoying.
Granted, I mean, I don't know how big some of these RTNs
Do you think
are.
it's more that I'm just a fucking rube for the deck, or do you think that like people are just missing that Teklo's kind of good?
I feel like some people are missing. It's gonna be.
I think it's just I'm a fucking idiot. I just like the combo.
Well, I mean, it got noticed a little bit ago because that one guy top forward with him.
Yep.
And I know is almost pretty damn close to your list.
Bro,
Very similar. Very similar.
the weird thing about that list was the base parts in his sideboard. I would
Yep.
never ever want to like fabricate in base armor after one gets broken or something. Like,
Yep.
After one gets broken, your game plan changes.
Yeah.
Doing like relying on your fabricate to like bring back a base, I think it's just kind of a pipe dream. And so like it ended up being those like proto bases were generally like my Kano fight or like my Kano stuff. Like our numbers were pretty close. I don't think I was on the red Junkyard Dogs until his deck.
Yep.
But there's also a couple cards that he's not running that I'm running,
Yeah.
that some secret spice.
The no room gloves.
Don't you fucking no room close me, dude, right now. I almost had the same blunder with the fucking leveler against Prism, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing? God, what am I doing?
No, but I don't know. I think it's just really interesting to see which heroes are going to actually be the true A and B heroes and which heroes are going to be the C and D.
Yeah, I'm excited for Pro
Because
Tour.
I don't want to say, it's hard to say some like C and D heroes, to be honest, because like we were saying, it's such an open meta.
If we're just going off of performances, it's decks like Riptide and Olympia and Teklo,
Yep.
And Vincent. They're all
Stinky
towards
tuna
the
fisher
bottom.
sandwich.
Yep.
Viscerai, you got your Viscerai, and then
Yeah, this is probably down there.
Kano's at like a C. Just depends on if you catch people off
I don't
guard.
think you could ever give Kano a grade and have it be right.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's what I think.
'Cause you give him
I
a
think
bad
Kano
grade
can
and
like
then he
win any
KOs you.
tournament and fucking lose every tournament. Like,
Hey,
did.
here's my
If that's
Aether
possible.
Wildfire into my Blazing Aether. Have fun.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a
I
Sonic
think Dylan
Boom
beat a Kano.
he did. He
He
raced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with,
He did.
AB
with
won.
Arcane Barrier 1.
He had AB 1.
Mad lad.
Yeah. He like cut some of his AB.
Apparently it worked.
Yeah, good for him.
I mean,
Fucking
it is a
awesome.
race.
It's
I mean,
fucking awesome.
that's what Kano's doing, racing to see if he gets the combo, and then boom. But I don't know. What other heroes do you guys think could be like A minus?
I think that's I think we kind
I
of
think that's
we named
kind
them
of it.
in terms of A, in terms of a below KO or whatever we want to call it, whatever tiered
Yep.
you want to say. Like if you're going to Pro Tour, you're probably considering those decks. I would imagine. If you're considering any decks outside that, it's just like a pet deck of yours or probably
Honestly,
something.
I know we say KO's like the deck to beat, but like, what if KO's just A as well, and there's truly not an S tier hero?
That was something I was thinking of.
That could be a good
We
take.
do have
That might be a hot take.
we do have a really open meta. And you see a lot of the big names trying out different decks and stuff. I almost feel like some team out there has cooked up something. I feel like there's going to be this team that shows up to the Pro Tour and their deck is just ripping everyone.
Oh yeah, no, there will be. There always is. There always is. I mean,
What hero do you think is most
remember the
likely?
Briar fatigue deck from last year?
Don't remind
Bro.
me, dude.
Oh, that came out of nowhere.
What the fuck?
I-
I was actually in that venue, like watching that tournament.
Yeah.
That was insane.
I thought of that deck so early.
It
and
came
I
out of
just went,
nowhere.
nah.
Came out of nowhere. And of course, why? Because the fucking math. The math was just very good, and they were just like, yeah.
That natural warmongers in the finals.
It's
Oh yes, actually.
That was mint.
against Dromai.
Yep,
No, Lexi.
Lexi
Oh right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sorry.
to stop the 3 of a kind.
Yep.
Crazy.
With the Codex and Arsenal.
That was a hell of a Pro Tour looking back on it. Like,
Those were some fun games.
that one was crazy.
I will say I'm kind of excited, kind of like we were saying before, to just kind of chill. This next week or this next month we have coming up, where it's gonna be fun for our locals. We got the Team Sealed end of the month, so we're gonna try that.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're gonna finally send it. And before that, we got like a Blitz one coming up. I don't know if we're gonna play in Blitz this weekend or next. I think it's next, but yeah, it's gonna be nice to like just kind of chill,
Yeah.
We're not so much RTN testing and pressure and all that bullshit. Although I will have to say, like, I love going to these. I wish there was one of these every fucking weekend. I love seeing the community and like talking to these guys. It sucks we see them like once a year or whatever.
It's good.
We're so far apart in terms of like our LGS locations, but
it's good that our state can get like 50 something people
to
come
crazy.
Together at one event for Flesh and Blood. It's immaculate.
Yeah,
it's honestly immaculate.
We're pretty blessed with our community, I'd say. Yeah, even having Nats here is like an indicator, probably where we're probably one of like the hotbeds of the fab communities in the U.S. I would imagine, just in terms of like attendance at LGSs and the different all the you look at every day of the week. There's shit going on somewhere in Minnesota.
Yep.
For fab. So if you were grinding XP like back in the day, there was a path here for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure,
big time.
But yeah, just wanted to say I fucking love this community. It's been a blast.
I do too.
Until next time.
I do too.
You guys want to get into some questions?
Yeah, let's get a few questions banged out here.
Alrighty. What do we have? Like just 2, I think, this week, huh? All right.
Which one do we want to do first? I feel like we let's do Sean's first.
Okay, yeah, we can do Sean's first. That's actually probably a good idea. Sully asks, when you feel like you left a game on the table, what is your method for overcoming it and changing your strategy for next time you play it?
Bailey?
I already answered this one. I told him it was a dumb question. I never leave games on the table, man. I always clean up after my fucking self.
It's easy to clean up when
Clean
there's
up your
nothing on the
fucking
plate.
play area.
But no, honestly, I'm gonna let someone else answer first.
That's a good answer.
Who wants first?
I will dive at this one. This one is a good question, I think, because this is something that like I think every card gamer or at least semi-competitive card gamer faces, where you might see something you're unfamiliar with in a game, and it takes you getting beat by it for you to learn about it or to learn how to beat it or whatever. I'll take like Decimator Axe Dory, for example. Like when I block with my temper equipment, the Decimator Axe negs them 1, chain closes, gets negged again, so that actually accounts for 2 minus 1 counters on it. It took 1 time for the Decimator Axe to do that, and then Sean reminded me last weekend about Decimator Axe, or was it Sean? Forget who it was. We were talking about it on the ride home too.
I think it was Sean, because he reminded you about it again on the ride there.
So like honestly, with stuff like that, in Fab it's so hard because there's so many different decks. There's so many flavors of decks. There's so many, like in this case it's a Dorinthia, right?
Yep.
But only if they're playing Decimator Axe. Oh, I can't ever block Decimator Axe when my equipment have -1 counters on. I just can't.
Nope.
You just can't do it. So that's something you have to take note of in that matchup. And only specifically that matchup. Dory, Decimator. Like, that's what we're fucking talking about here.
True.
Know? So, like, stuff like that. Even, like playing against Cole's dual-wield fucking Sabers heavy reaction deck. Like, never seen it before. I had to get beat by it to learn, okay. I was, like, talking to Cole, giving him shit outside this last week. I'm like, hey, man, I'd love a fucking rematch. Let's go, I'd love to get paired up.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, part of it is learning from your mistakes in this game and just trying your best to remember it. Maybe I don't ever bring in Remembrance against Dory. It just fucked me.
Well, for me, it's definitely just, I didn't really play too many card games before, so I definitely had to get my teeth kicked in a lot before I learned a lot about card games and learning, different play styles and different patterns and all that. So, I mean, just taking away from, like, what you got from each game and just putting it towards your next game and not sweating it too much has definitely helped me in just, like, overcoming games and stuff like that.
I think it's key to have short-term memory, too. Just forget about that game, honestly, like, after Dylan and I's game, like, I don't know how I was, like, so, like, I think it was just because it was Dylan. Him and I are buddies, and like if it was anyone else, I would have been like pissed. But like we had some fun, and it was like some banter going back and forth, and it's always like a pleasure playing your buddies. And like, fuck, man, if I was gonna lose to anyone else, it's like whatever. But
guy that won the battle hard. I mean,
no, he's a good player too. Like credit him. I think he survived all of my attacks on fucking Teklo as well. Like,
It's good games.
I thought if you transformed, you just won on the spot. What happened, dude? What the fuck?
Just got cooked.
No. But, yeah, short-term memory. Just try to, on to the next one,
Golf's definitely helping.
Sometimes bad bitches have bad days, too.
You can make it up in the future. You can't fix what happened.
What? That's a true statement.
This is not a Thai statement that I expected to hear.
No Meg Thee Stallion? Whatever. My wife's been on this Meg Thee Stallion kick lately, dude. That
She's
shit
not
goes
bad.
hard, dude. Goes hard in the paint.
Cliff?
Yeah, no, her shit's busting, man. No, for real. That
No
shit's
cap.
fire. No cap, dog.
What is even going on?
Cliff has no idea what's going on right
Cliff's lost.
But no,
He's lost in the sauce, man.
if only.
Man's bamboozled.
But no, if after a tough game where I've always kind of been that dash player,
Yep.
I want to go all the boost and the boom grenades. I want to use all the cool and high damage, powerful things. So a lot of it comes down to what should I have built differently in the deck to try to prevent this. Because for the dash boost list I've built, it's not really playing against an opponent unless they're producing a lot of discard effects. It's like I'm playing solitaire with my own deck. Like I'm fighting the deck as much as I'm fighting my opponent.
It's a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, like she fought hard this weekend, man. There was nothing I could get going off of it. And it's some of that, like some of it is out of your control. But if there's a specific play, I'll think about it, I'll run it back, and I'll think of a couple different counters to the play to try to prevent it next time. Like, okay, if this is what's presented in this situation, we've been here before, you know what to do, so do it, you dumb idiot, That's kind of how I go about that.
No, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, anytime you see something in Fab against, like, a better player than you that you didn't know before, that's just a learning.
Obviously, they were cheating.
No, it's just a learning experience. Like, I've been playing for years, dude. I'm still fucking learning. Like, I walked out of both of these tournaments these last two weeks, and it's like, man, I got a long ways to go, dude. Like, and fucking A, I've been here from the start, it feels like. And just, we play like once a week, so it's not like we're jamming games fucking a lot. But
Still having good games and,
yeah.
learning experiences for sure.
Yeah.
In every game, there's more to learn, is just what I found out.
Yeah, 100%.
Bailey?
Yeah. No, I know I said it kind of jokingly before, but in reality, like I try not to like leave my games on the table. Listen, take it from the O2 drop himself. Like, those L's are gonna happen, man. Like, you gotta take them on the chin, move on to the next one. Like, don't let it bog down you mentally for the rest of the day, because right, that shit's just gonna snowball then. Like, you have one bad game, you let it get to you, it leads to another bad game, and then all of a sudden you drop. I mean, you're just...
That was too perfect.
That was too good.
That was too perfect.
but no, really, like you can't let it like bog you down like that. Like, you get your time in between games, do what you got to do. Like, go outside, walk around, even if you're just like pacing, like reset, like, instead of dwelling on it and like, oh, like if I would have done like this and this, like I probably could have won that game. It's okay. Like, if this happens again, like I know now that I need to do this, and this, and sure, maybe like it's not going to win me the game, but it's going to be a better outcome for me going forward. Like,
you can shift the tides.
Yeah.
Is what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. You're shifting the tides. You can't ponder on it. You just gotta.
Okay, Bailey.
God,
all right,
I'm too
Bailey.
good at this. Ah.
So we're just going to gloss over the pun that Josh just dropped. Are you guys actually going to ignore that? You're going to let that stand?
What?
shift the tide.
Shift the tides of battle. But
I just played off of it. What do
He
you mean
did.
I'm leaving it on the table?
he did. He did play off
I don't.
it.
Like I said, I don't leave shit on the table. I picked up on it.
As I said before, Bailey, there's got to be something on the plate to leave it.
No, I feel like we're all in a pretty good agreement, though, that, just don't dwell over games.
Dude, I can't fucking wait for those sleeves to come.
The O2 drops.
Watch, the second he puts those on, we're going to get to ProQuest, and he's going to go like 12-0 day one or something like that. The O2 drop sleeves, and he's on the top table.
Oh god, I would fucking love
Fucking
that.
top 8
That'd
the
be
Colleen
perfect.
or something.
Could you imagine
Perfect.
Bailey in the top 8 with those sleeves? It'd be so fucking amazing.
Just setting them out, just looking at them. But
Good shit. Now I gotta do it.
let's get into our next question. Ty, you want to read it there?
Sure. Squidward asked, which character has the biggest hog in the game?
Metaphorically and literally.
Yeah, he said metaphorically or literally. Oh, funny question. I mean,
Metaphorically, probably Vincent. She's got that dummy mommy,
Wait.
like big dick energy.
okay, metaphorically.
Yeah. Metaphorically.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, isn't that a girl? I'm kind of hard pressed not to just say Bolton. I'll be honest with you. Isn't the obvious answer just Bolton? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Dude,
It has to be Bolton.
what about Riptide, though? Creeping up from the depths of the sea, just a
He
log
gives
of
me
a...
kind of Chubb vibes.
Yes.
He's got Chubb vibes for me.
I mean, look at his leather skirt. I mean, it's quite long. You never know what third leg he's hiding under there.
I think metaphorically, big old Betsy makes sense.
That's also true, but
She's got big dick energy vibes.
nah, dude. I mean, off the Riptide thing. I mean, I bet you Olympia's packing, man.
Back in the heat.
Packing that schmeat.
Oh my god, dude.
Thank you, Squidward, for the excellent question. I love when we get to go off on these tangents. It's like Cliff talking about his data doll, sex doll. Sorry, blow up doll.
Oh.
I only said would.
Good thing no one
That's all I
is here
said.
at this point anyways. Everyone's gone somewhere else.
Hey, some people actually stay. I think they enjoy our questions.
I don't know.
Um,
They might
leads
not.
to
We'll
some-
see about
leads
this.
to
We'll
some
lose
weird
some-
conversations.
We'll lose some fucking listeners after this one.
You're like, what the fuck? This is not what I signed up to listen to. Listen, man.
It's in the name.
We've in
the fucking name.
We've said it before. We are not your competitive podcast, man.
No.
We're here to talk shit and talk cash, man. We're filthy fucking casuals.
That's
At the
we
end of the
are.
day,
very,
I'd have to agree with the metaphorical Betsy.
very on brand there, man.
filthy fucking mouths.
And physically, we'd probably just have to go with like a Starvo, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
yeah, man,
he just
came
kind
in
of
for
drops it and
6
goes,
months with that big dick energy, man. He just
Yeah.
flopped it on the table and went, "The fuck are you gonna do about it?"
They didn't call it Oak and Old for nothing.
Hit him with that fucking crippling crush.
Have you starstruck, boy?
Jesus.
It's always showtime. And put the money where your mouth is.
Oh, shit.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, shit. I think that's time, boys.
You guys trying to get the fuck out of here?
God.
It's 11:30.
Even when LSS was coming up with these names, I don't think they'd imagined that there'd be this many innuendos with them.
Oh, they definitely knew with
They knew
Pound Town.
Town.
They knew
Pound
with
Town
Pound
was a good
Town.
one.
Yeah.
That's where it all started.
I also have a problem with LSS not naming the ball breaker to ball buster.
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity.
It is.
Ball breaker's pretty good too, though.
It is.
It is.
Ball
I'm
breaker's
breaking your
pretty
balls.
good. Yeah.
I'm gonna bust your balls for
That's
Hey,
literally our whole episode every week.
You're
It's just ball
busting my
breaking.
balls here.
missed opportunity. LSS. Shame on you.
No. Hey.
Well, boys, why don't we get the fuck out of here?
Let's do it.
It's 11:30 where we're at.
Holy shit.
We're getting the night gigs. But listeners, we always appreciate you joining in on episode 30. this week. You can join the Discord in the show notes. It's always there. You can email us at bigdeckenergycast@gmail.com.
I'm so proud of you.
I will never get that wrong again. But
Look at my boy.
as we always like to say, we're signing off. Peace.
Hey, until next week. As always, it's a pleasure.
Man, I'm even back in studio for it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And
say
remember,
it. Go ahead, say it.
it's not just a game.